The Israeli military has expanded its offensive across central and southern Gaza with intense bombing nearby refugee camps. It's in the aftermath in central Gaza. Overnight, civilians heard warplanes, gunfire, and explosions, driving many to flee again from the safety of the camps. And it comes as the U.S. continues to stress the importance of curbing civilian casualties, with the IDF now saying this war could take, quote, many more months. Joining us live from Israel is AP reporter Isabel Debre. Isabel, thank you so much for your time. What's the latest you've heard on the ground there?
I've heard that by foot and on donkey cart, we're seeing thousands of Palestinian families fleeing those urban refugee camps in the central Gaza Strip. This was an area that before yesterday had been spared the Israeli ground invasion, and today it's at the very heart of Israel's offensive. As you mentioned, residents we spoke to in the camps told us that last night was the worst night of bombing that they'd experienced since the beginning of the war. Intense shelling continued throughout the day today, and we've also heard that troops were finding Hamas militants in the streets of one refugee camp, that tanks were surrounding the area. So as a result, you had this mass exodus, Palestinians bringing whatever they could, their babies, bringing along these relatives that couldn't walk. There were really staggering images of just countless people traveling to the nearby town of Deir el-Belah, which is a place that the Israeli military had told them to evacuate to. But even people there don't feel safe. As we've seen over the last 24 hours, there has been intensified strikes across the Gaza Strip. In the southern town of Khan Yunis, we know that the Israeli military says it is pushing deeper into the town. There was a strike there right in front of a hospital that killed 20 people today. And overall, we saw that 195 Palestinians were recorded as killed by health authorities. So this war has continued to escalate.
But let's talk about the fact that these refugee camps are being targeted. We know civilians in the central and southern parts of Gaza are still really trying to find safety, someplace to go from the bombings. What is the IDF saying? What are they telling them?
So in terms of the central area, the military is saying, OK, if you live in these urban refugee camps, you should go to this nearby town where everyone was going called Deir el-Belah, which is a place that before the war, there was 75,000 people there. Now there's just several 100,000 people all crowding into these very unsanitary shelters. But because the situation is just so insecure in general, you're seeing more and more people flee to the southern border town of Rafah, which is in the southern part of the Gaza Strip. And this is a place, it's basically this patchwork of smaller and smaller areas that Palestinians are getting squeezed into because of these continuing bombardments. And we're seeing that even there it's not safe. There has been escalations and airstrikes in the southern border town of Rafah. And we also know that there are nearly 2 million Palestinians that are sheltering there. It's, again, another small town that is completely overwhelmed. And the humanitarian conditions that we're hearing from there, it's just staggering. There's not enough aid getting in. Aid officials tell us because of Israel's siege that has prevented more than just a couple hundred trucks from getting through. And people say they really just struggle to find basics like food and water.
Yeah, they're really struggling there right now. Isabel Debre live for us in Israel. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.